Alright guys, before we head into the video, I must remind you that this is not a YouTube channel, this is a movement. I am completely intent on becoming your solution to wokeness in media and wokeness in storytelling, but I need your guys' support. My books were made with creativity and imagination in mind. The only reason why I am doing this channel is to get out to you, my audience, who are not feminists and who are not gay. Right now, storytelling in all of our media is made for the feminists and the gays. You have one guy. I went out of my own way to become your solution. I don't have to be doing this. So again, guys, are you done with wokeness in media, wokeness in storytelling? Do you want great stories that should be in our movies and in our games? Then I ask you, give me a chance and support our movement. Pick up my books and please leave a review. Listen, man, I'm not here for any other reason. And if you've ever spent $70, $60, $50 on a woke game, then all I ask out of you is $5. So you either want somebody to be the solution, and I will not stop until you get the games and the movies that you deserve, but we have to start somewhere. So go into my video description. You will find the link to Charles Arlington on Amazon. Find one of my books, pick it up. Listen, man, I have the best stuff that's out there, but I can't keep doing this if you don't prove to me that you guys exist. You might not think it matters, but for every single one of you that picks up one of my books and you leave me a review, it is through this singular action that we will spread the word and reach out to more guys like yourself, delivering our solution to wokeness in media, wokeness in storytelling. Do you want the next creative mind that is going to give exactly to you what it is that you say that you want? Then let's go, man. Join up with me. Join up with our movement. Join the few guys that are willing to get behind this. Pick up one of my books and let's go. Well, guys, it appears to be another year and more Jeff Keighley. Now, this year of the Game Awards was, I guess, a little bit different from the previous ones. It seems like we got a lot less awards for a lot of games, which was interesting. I've seen one or two people mention that, and I'm gonna be honest, I sat through this. Yo, what's up, girl? Hey, yo, whoa, hey, are you single? Anyways, we have a lot of awards that were given in previous years. But for whatever reason, it seems like this year, there were barely any awards. And I mean it. Like, I don't even really know how many awards were given out or how many people really were awarded anything. Because they had a lot of awards for like art direction, game direction, design, all kinds of things in the previous years. To some point, it felt like a little bit much. But now this year, and by the way, the Muppets were pretty much the best part of the show because they were trashing Jeff Keighley, as I call him, Queef Melee. And you can see that on one of my thumbnails for the Summer Games Awards. But anyway, no, it was a Summer Game Fest. Anyway, I hate that freaking title. It's just annoying to say. But, the Muppets were pretty funny. They were decent. Man, I have to mention, there was one freaking award. It was the voice acting. And who was up for it? The Aerith voice actress, which honestly, I don't really think that her and Tifa are pretty much the same. I'm going to be honest. The chick who did Star Wars Outlaws, which is what the frick, why? Disney basically paid for her to be a nomination. I don't even know why they bothered with her. They did the guy who did, I think, Jason Sunderland from... what was it? Silent Hill 2 Remake. He did a really good job. I think he should have won this year. I think he did a really good job on his performance for Silent Hill 2 Remake. But then you had another chick, and her name's like Melina or something. She's the one who won. I don't even know what game she did, but frick. Wow, I'm forgetting right now. Wow, that guy looks like he wants to sleep. I think that's Troy Baker, and that's Todd Howard. Yeah, Todd is definitely shorter than Troy, and Troy is a massive liberal. Anyway, so, you know, and never mind. Jeez Louise. I'm not going to go down that rant. So anyways, yeah, the guy who did Jason Sunderland, though, that guy did a really good job. Sadly, the other chick won, and I was a little bit miffed off about that. But Black Myth Wukong got the best of action games, I believe, this year. And it was up against, I think, Call of Duty 6, which, no. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That game, no. Just absolutely not. It's just so bad. The story, everything about it. Bro, there is just something I cannot stand about these freaking liberals. Then we have freaking Harrison Ford. Yeah, he showed up to be like, yo, guys, I used to be Indiana Jones. And bro, I am just so sick and tired of Harrison. It's because he just does not care about what he does. Oh, and then Laura Bailey, no, she's not the one that won. She won one of the previous years, I think for Last of Us 2, right? Playing as the man-woman Abby. Anyways, I forget who the freaking... Oh, these guys actually give the award for... Yeah, so we might see it in a few seconds here, but anywho... It just, Harrison does not care about what he's doing. And by the way, in case you want to know, he's a part of the very small percentage of the population that somehow, apparently, a large number of them were freaking exterminated, right? Yeah, I totally believe that. Yeah, let's skip that freaking ad. Get out of here. I might fast forward to the time that they give the award. But, dude, look at those pants. Those are pants for women. What is with these guys? Like Todd is dressed like a freaking man over here, but I don't know what Troy's doing. Like, those are pants that women wear, and they're terrible. It's like weird hippie pants. Don't even get me started, man. It's so freaking Hollywood. I don't like it. I don't care for it. Why do you guys do this? Whatever. Anyways, moving on. And you know, this is my problem with the Game Awards, is that everyone has fake smiles, fake charisma. Yeah, here, Brianna White. You're gonna see the Melina chick, or whatever the frick her name is. Yeah, Life is Strange chick. For some reason, she was nominated. No, absolute. Yeah, frick Star Wars Outlaw. Come on, man. Like, no. Why? And just by the way, notice it's a lot of women because, right? They keep on. Yes, the chick that. No. Now listen, really weird voice acting from that chick and whatever. And I guess she's got huge breasts, so it's like maybe that's why she won. But regardless of that, yeah, I don't know. She did not deserve it. Let me go back real quick here. Luke Roberts, man, that guy should have won. But of course, right, they keep on making all the protagonists now. All the protagonists are women. So of course now most of the people, yeah, dang, she's stacked. I don't know how in shape she is. She seems to be largely thin. I can't tell though. You can't tell from here, so whatever. I think Laura Bailey's on stage. She had a weird interaction on stage with one guy that she's definitely banging. I think she's making games with some dude. Anyway, but you know, at least it's a white woman that won, right? Whatever that means. Whatever. Anyway, so it's like, right, they replace in the gaming industry a bunch of white male characters, and now all we have are female characters. So of course, all we have left is women to win these awards. Which is like, no, again, she doesn't deserve an award. There's a bunch of dudes who do better work than her. You know, I get it. She's stacked and that's nice. Good for you. Again, she seems to be a little bit slightly overweight. So anyway, it's, you know, I'm not going to get into that. It doesn't matter. So, you know, a bunch of fake charisma, fake smiles. Everyone's acting like they all get along, right? That everyone likes each other. And this is what corporate, politically correct nonsense is that everyone's sitting around acting like they like each other. Jeff literally shills. And by the way, what is this? The Shill Awards. The Game Awards is simply the Shill Awards. It's been that way for a long time now. But it's like literally he's just shilling a bunch of games. He's like, wow, that was super good. And it's like, dude, that game looked like crap. Or no one wants to pick this up. Or he shows a freaking trailer and it's like, who wants that? So, you know, man, it's just disappointing because the gaming industry is not that good. It's not looking that good. They sit there and they feel sorry for the fact that a bunch of developers. They literally have this guy, they drag him out on stage, this freaking, listen, just gonna say it, the guy's a freaking loser. And he's like this shut-in nerd type of dude, socially autistic, and apparently he's trying to help a lot of these developers who are losing their jobs in the industry to help them get their jobs back. No, these people deserve to lose their jobs. It's a bunch of activists. They were a bunch of obese people, by the way, too, with colored hair. It was ridiculous. No one wants these people in the industry. That's why they don't have jobs. A little bit, also hashtag Me Too and all that nonsense, because a lot of them were also women. But like, nobody wants these people to have jobs. I think, yeah, this right here, this is Witcher. I'm going to talk about that in a second here. No, you know what? Screw it. So anyways, nobody wants those people to have jobs. They deserve to be fired. They deserve to never be hired again. They're activists. They don't have the skill, the talent necessary. And they are the type of people who want to be pandered to. No, we need to get back to a point in time where we are calling people slurs. You are insulting people only because of the truth. It's like, hey there, you look stupid because you are stupid. You need to be told you're stupid. We don't tell stupid people that they're stupid anymore. They need to be told that. We don't tell people that are fat that they're fat anymore. We don't tell people when there's something that is wrong with them that there's something wrong and they should fix that. Because you can do something about being stupid. If you have low expectations for gaming, you should be told that you're stupid. And a lot of people nowadays, Baldur's Gate 3 should have never won Game of the Year because Baldur's Gate 3 is a very average game by past year's standards. Now, games are heavily average are winning awards. This year, Astrobot won Game of the Year, and I'm going to be honest, I liked Astrobot. I was happy that Astrobot won an award, but it's like, I'm going to be honest, bro, that game was also heavily average, and it won Game of the Year. Now you're going to have a bunch of freaking simp cocks coming out of the woodwork being like, it was Game of the Year. What do you mean? It was super good. And it's like, dude, I like the game. It's good. I'm happy that it won its award, but let's just be honest. Astrobot really, yeah, here, Siri looks like she hit freaking menopause. They freaking Karen'd her face. She is not as attractive as she was in the previous games. They made her face more masculine. I cannot freaking stand this. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in the future here in the video, but let's just first address this. These developers do not deserve their jobs. And anyways, on to the Astrobot thing, is that Astrobot won Game of the Year, and I'm like, why? Honestly, like that just shows how far our standards have fallen. But I mean, there were issues with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I don't agree. There's a lot of things I liked about it and a bunch of things I did not like about it. I didn't like how gay the game was with Cloud, Sephiroth, a lot of blatant homosexuality. Again, Siri in this trailer is so masculine. The way she behaves, the way that she talks to this woman. I'm actually going to rewind in a second here, and I'm going to have some of the audio playing so that you can hear some of this, because I have a serious issue with this, and I really have to talk about the issue that we have surrounding Witcher and the Witcher series and what they're doing to Ciri, because they're trying to replace Geralt with her. And that was never the point of the book series. No one's asking for this. It was always about Geralt. It was always about a man raising a daughter, well, you know, a surrogate daughter, a girl that was supposed to be a boy. There's a huge freaking point about that in book 1. That it's supposed to be that Ciri is supposed to be a freaking boy. And they have to come to terms with raising a girl like a boy, like a man, before the end of the world. That's the whole point. And then she drinks a tonic there, and apparently that's a big issue because she didn't go through the trials of the grasses. Other people have been speaking about that. I'm not so keen on that. I don't, you know, it's not something I'm really, that's not my biggest gripe. Again, look at, this is supposed to be a fighting scene for a man, and we gave it to a woman. And if you don't think this has anything to do with ESG, remember that the company, just look at everything's ESG today. DEI, feminist here, feminist there, female protagonist there, female protagonist over here. Okay, used to be that we always had games about men because why? Storytelling and main characters are men. It's always been about men. Now we make it about women because this was a big point for the women, the feminists entering the industry about 10 or whatever. Yeah, about 10 years ago now. They were all about, we need more women in games. Well, now all we have are female protagonists, or just majority, and it's because of feminism. It's because of these ideological activists. By the way, the trailer looks good, but it doesn't matter. And I can't, I have so many things to say, but let's just, again, just the whole point. I really have a lot to say about this. I'm so freaking pissed off. What else can I say? I'm just, listen, man, it was always, Ciri only goes as far as Geralt. She was never meant to be a main character, a protagonist. Nobody ever wanted that. The books were sold on Geralt. That's why they were good. That's why people sat down for the stories. Sat down. Oh my God, I have so much to say about this. Holy crap, I'm just watching it right now. This is why we picked up the Witcher series. If Ciri was ever the protagonist, the series would have never been as popular as it was. It was about Geralt and Ciri. Ciri was a part of the narrative, not, an ancillary subject. She was not the core driver. This has to be understood about the Witcher series. No Geralt is no Witcher. Witchers are supposed to be men, not women. So, this is the problem that we now have, is that the feminists are going to make all the excuses for why Ciri must be one of the main characters, why she must be the protagonist for Witcher 4. And this is ridiculous. No one's asking for this. Nobody wants it. Again, this is just another problem with the gaming industry. So anyways, Astrobot won Game of the Year. And I'm not really too happy with that, only because it shows how far our standards have fallen. Astrobot doesn't have a story. Astrobot is not the craziest game to be out there. It's a good game. I'm happy it won the award, but let's just be honest. Our standards have fallen so far for the gaming industry that Astrobot won. Astrobot should not have won Game of the Year. It was a great game. I want it to do well. I'm happy for it to do well as a game. But it's not Game of the Year. And that's a simple fact. There's a bunch of games that came out in years past, and they're just simply better. So it's like, okay, it's Game of the Year. That's not good. Game of the Year is the fact that games are just not as good as they used to be. The fact that Astrobot is Game of the Year is just beyond me, man. Because it's an above average game. And it's what games should be. But again, it's above average. Excellent games should be coming out every year. Great stories, great narratives, great games, right? Great RPG systems, go down the list. We should have more games that are Witcher 3 and better. Better than, Red Dead Redemption 2 and better. Final Fantasy 15 and better. Metal Gear Solid 5 and better. There's a bunch of games that came out in past years were just simply better, more going on, more that was thought out, tons of work went into it. And sadly, we just don't have a lot of games like that anymore. And a lot of games now are just very disappointing, By the way, we have a new DLC that was announced for Elden Ring. I don't really know what that's going to look like. I have some things to say about that. I mean, I hated the freaking Shadow Tree DLC. I never finished it, and I bought it. I'm kind of pissed about that. I'm really disappointed that I did spend money on it, but I did, at the end of the day. So I'm hoping this is going to be good, but I don't know. I love Dark Souls and Elden Ring, but for whatever reason, that DLC, I don't know what it is, but I have massive burnout. So whatever that comes down to, it looks like a cool DLC. I'm going to be honest. It looks like great level design, great mobility added to your character. So it looks cool for what it is. I don't know, man. I'm hoping I enjoy this more than the previous DLC. That's all I can tell you. So, but outside of all of this, man, the Game Awards is basically the Shill Awards. That's all it feels like. It's all it really is. I was not impressed by most of the games that came out that were announced. I mean, if I go through here with you and I show you a lot of what was announced, a lot of it is just, for one, a lot of it is just ads. A lot of games were really not announced. And a lot of these games are female protagonists. A lot of them are, unless it's like a Japanese or Korean studio, then it's kind of not so much. We have some games with sexy chicks and, some anime games. I think one of them was from the devs of Genshin Impact, but that's it. Let me see here. Yeah, 2025 for that. But we got a couple of woke games with female protagonists. Oh my gosh, yeah, holy crap. And it's just like, man, I don't care. Like, I'm really not excited for any future games coming out. You understand in past years how many games made me excited? We had past E3s that were just so exciting. It's like Scalebound. Remember how that game never came out? I was excited for that game. There was a game called Fable Legends that got scrapped, and I was excited for it. It used to be that these events would happen, these shows would happen, and I would be so excited for a new game being announced. And I'd be like, I cannot wait to pick that up and play it. Now, by the way, what's up, Tifa? Dang. Now, bro, it's just, you know, I'm not excited for any games coming out. I mean, maybe there's one game or whatever, but it's like, games suck now. And, you know, now we only have a bunch of female-led feminist games, a bunch of main characters that no one's asking for. Yeah, that's coming out to PC. Indiana, that video I think already came out by now. Yeah, this was a bad game. It just sucked. Indiana does not feel like Indiana. Here, let's skim through because I want to show you some of the games with female protagonists. Where is it? Oh yeah, that was some game with, I guess, cats. All right. What else do we have? Warframe is doing some update. Where is it? Bro, what? I clicked on it and it's showing me something else. This is not it. What was this guy? I think this was Fantasio, right? Whatever the frick the game was called. Fantasia. Oh, Black Myth. Yeah, best action. That deserved it. That was a great game. A lot of hard work went into Black Myth Wukong, so they deserved it. Can I see the Warframe? Whatever, man. Wow. Literally clicking on it. It's not very accurate. Pal World, bro, this is a game I said was not that good. Pal World was not that good. And people literally sat there saying like, oh, this is such a big deal. How dare you say that Pal World's not that interesting. It's not that well made of a game. It's not going to hold anyone's attention. It didn't hold my attention. And everyone's like, oh, how dare you sit here and say that Pal World's not that great and that no one's really that excited for it and no one's gonna, like, it doesn't have staying power as a game because there's barely any content. It's an empty open world, and a bunch of people sat there and tried to hold my feet to the fire. Bro, everyone's forgotten about it. It only exists now in everyone's minds because they're doing new updates, number one. Number two, and the numbers for the game, it's lost a ton of traction because, again, the game was not that good. I don't understand these people who shill for these games. Again, this is the freaking Shill Awards. These are not games that people actually genuinely love. This is the Shill Awards, and everyone's just shilling out for these games because for some reason we need to be shilling games, even though they're not as good as past games. I'm going to tell you this right now. Ark Survival Evolved is better than Pal World. It's just that simple, bro. There's I can go down a list. I mean, Conan Exiles, blah, 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 blah. There's a bunch of games that are simply better. And right now we're giving awards to games that are just shadows of previous games. And everyone wants you to shill for these games. You have any idea how many games are like Baldur's Gate 3? They don't have the budget, but that's it. Okay, yeah, and then we also got, this is some random game that Jeff shilled out. It's just a freaking cinematic trailer. It really wasn't that interesting. It's really dystopian. I'm sick and tired of nihilistic dystopian stories and worlds and designs of games. And that's all this is. And I'm sick and tired of it. I mean, it's basically Death Stranding. The whole idea is like, oh, end of the world. Look at that. I mean, that's going to wipe out this massive robot, a sea of nothing. I mean, I guess maybe this is like Eldritch inspired, whatever. I mean, dude, it's just like everything's so soulless now. Give me back the heroic epic. Give me back characters like Odysseus, characters like Kratos, problematic masculine characters. Now, by the way, I hated the new character Ichiban with the, what is it called? The Yakuza series. There's a new Yakuza game that's going to be coming out right now. It's called Project Century. It has a really gritty main character. He seems to be like a problematic male, you know, smokes cigarettes and he just kicks everyone's butts. If they give us a gritty Yakuza story again, give us a good gritty male character, then I'm going to be happy with it. But, you know, they better go problematic with all of it. Problematic women, problematic men. And I just mean, you know, just conventional masculinity and femininity. That's all I'm saying. But nowadays we say it's problematic. If Yakuza goes back to being freaking, you know, just masculine dudes, then I'm happy. And the animation seemed good. The fighting seems good. So I have good hopes for the game. Project Century, whatever it turns out to be. I'm just hoping it has a good story. And I'm going to be back with Yakuza. I will love the franchise again. Bro, one of my favorite games is Yakuza 0. One of the best stories out there. Really, it's a masterclass in storytelling. It is so good. But, you know, it's been a while since we've gotten a good game. So if they bring it back with Project Century, I'm going to be really happy. Again, it seems to be, oh, that's really interesting. A game in 1915, Japan or whatever. I think it's Japan. And for some reason, there's no black characters. That's weird. I thought that, you know, anytime that we have, you know, medieval Europe, anytime we have a story in any place that isn't Africa, we're supposed to have a bunch of black characters. What's going on here? Yeah, I don't know what's with this freaking retardation where we have to pander to black people all the time. Look, these people are dressed up like a bunch of, what is it? I think Catholic people who sing in churches. Well, why are there, it should be all white people on here. I'm so sick and tired of melting pots. I'm so sick and tired of how our populations have to, yo, what's up, girl? Anyways, I'm so sick and tired of how our populations have to be these melting pots and you have to see like a mixture of black and white and Asian people. Enough. I just want to see people from their freaking backgrounds and that's it. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of the melting pot. You know, so anyways, I'm happy with Project Century. It seems like it's just a bunch of Japanese dudes in Japan. You know, Yakuza dudes in Japan. And that's all I want to see. And that's all I want to see whenever we have freaking stories surround... Yeah, again, this is ridiculous. Black people with blonde hair. Just make it stop, bro. Freaking, I hate Clown World. I'm freaking fed up with it. Melting pots are disgusting. I'm fed up. Anyway... This woman, why does she have this weird afro hair? Just have normal female hair. I don't get it. Anyway. So anyways, I just want games about white people. I just want games about Japanese people from their region, from their background. And if you want to make a game about Ethiopians, I might not be interested. But if you make a good story, then I might be interested. But I'm so sick and tired of melting pots. Get it out. Freaking enough, bro. It's just old and tired. So anyways, Project Century, I'm actually really excited for it because it just looks like Japanese dudes in 1915 Japan. Okay? I'm excited for it. And the main protagonist, he just seems to be a masculine freaking character. That's gonna be awesome, bro. Freaking, I'm looking forward to it. So anyways, anything else? I want to show you some of these feminist games, if I can show you any. Onimusha, that looked interesting. This is so inaccurate down here. I'm trying to jump around, but it's not showing me. We have the anime game, but I'm sure if I click on it, it's not going to show me the anime game. Yeah, no, it's showing up this game. Split Fiction has to be a freaking white chick and a colored chick. Two main characters, and they're basically on a man's journey. I mean, that's most stories is a man's journey. And it's just, it's by some dude that people apparently like. He shows up every year. I don't care. It's another game with female protagonists. This is feminism. It's two women trying to be men, having a male story. And no one wants this. They're not sexualized. If they looked like Lara Croft or Isabella from Dragon Age Origins, right, for the colored chick, if you gave us a bunch of hot, yeah, this guy, I don't really have an issue with this dude, but he just keeps on making games for ESG, and that's all it is. Let's just face it. No one wants this game. 2 female protagonists. And by the way, this is an issue that we're having now, is woke boring. Because it was too much when they were forcing onto us a bunch of these ESG, DEI games with a bunch of SJW politics. Now they're curtailing it back, and now they're like, okay, whoa, let's just have it on the surface, the ESG. Let's have the female protagonist. Let's push, right? Let's make it endemic, our egalitarian progressive politics. But let's just make it endemic. Let's not be so front forward with it. But here's the reality, man. No one wants this stuff. Give us male protagonists. If you're gonna give us female protagonists, give us Lara Croft. Give us Samus Aran. Give us Isabella from Dragon Age Origins if you're gonna have a colored chick. Give us women who are sexy, huge breasts. That's it. That's what men want. That's who the gamers are. That's who they should be. And that's what the gaming industry must be. Lollipop Chainsaw. I can go down, bro, go back 15, 20 years. The characters in our games used to just be sexy women. Look at this. ESG, colored hair, some ugly freaking gender studies chick. No one wants this. She's gender androgynous. You will see this everywhere, bro. What the frick is that small head? Ugly characters, ugly character game design. Well, game design, character design, the whole thing. This game. Why do characters have to look so ugly? Stop. Frick, Fragpunk, you're going to fail. Everything's ugly. No one wants to see ugly. Dysgenic. No one wants it. Again, we want to see sexy women. Again, the Muppets, they were funny because they were just this guy right here. It's freaking silly. It's absolutely sad. This guy's trying to get these freaking losers who deserve to lose their jobs. They should not be in the game industry. They are the reason why these past games failed. They don't have what it takes. Get out. No mentorships, no resumes. Get out. Hire freaking men who are problematic, misogynist, freaking racist. Hire this. These are the women that they want to give jobs to. This is why you don't have a job in the industry. You're a bunch of crazy wacko leftists. Get out. And if you're going to have a freaking job in the industry, you should be working nowhere else in the industry. Yeah, again, these people, why do you think they don't have jobs? They shouldn't have jobs. Hire misogynistic, racist men. Hire those guys because they're going to make good games, good stories. Those are the guys who made good Diablo games. The good, there's a bunch of games that came out, Lollipop Chainsaw. You know, I'm not gonna get into, Dead Rising. The earlier games were not that great, but the writing was better, even though it's not perfect. It's just that everything's so trash nowadays. Everything's so sanitized. This guy is trying to get. By the way, apparently he's not too successful getting people jobs, but I don't care. This guy does not deserve a freaking job. And he does not, and the people he's giving jobs to, they do not deserve jobs. Give the jobs to the men that made the gaming industry great 15, 20 years ago. Who do you think was working on the Uncharted games 1 to 3? Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Why do you think those games were good? Because we were hiring a different type of person, men, and men who are misogynist and, well, considered misogynist. These terms, by the way, they don't actually mean anything, but what these leftists think are misogynist, racist. Hire these men again. You're going to have good stories, good games. Those are the people who deserve to be in the industry. They're the ones who got canceled. And then, for some reason, after they got canceled, a whole bunch of them, and they were driven out of the industry, then everything got woke. Everything turned to dog crap. Gee, I wonder why. And then these people, they failed their ESG video games, their ESG products. And then what happened? Now they're all looking for jobs because their studios lost money. That's the way it's supposed to happen. Give the jobs back to the men who do the work right. Give it to good writers, good game designers, good level designers. Give the jobs back to those who deserve it. Just because you're in the industry does not mean that you deserve the job in the industry. No, those who are deserving, they are the ones who should be given their roles and their positions. We have so many games from the past that had great writers, great game designers. Give them their jobs back and take these people right here, Get rid of these people. Fake smile, fake charisma. Everyone's just shaking hands and acting like everyone, yeah, he's crying. He's crying because you're a soy boy. And you freaking soy boys and you freaking Karens, this is all you have, is for people to feel sorry for you because you don't have work ethic. You don't have merit by your work. It's pathetic. Anyways, that's all I have to say. That's my freaking... I have a bunch of other words for all this, but it's like, listen, man, you don't belong in the industry. It's that simple. Do different work or get better. You can change yourself and do better work. But instead you're sitting here and you think that you belong in the industry. And then I think that's Laura Bailey. Screw that chick. I don't know who that is, actually. Wherever Laura Bailey is, screw you. You're freaking woke tard. Anyway. And I forget what she voice acts for. She does a lot of voice acting for everything. There's this game here. I think this has a female. This is Cyberpunk. It looks AI art, if I'm being honest with you. That's our future, though. AI art. And looks beautiful, but it has no soul. So I can't stand that. And this has a female protagonist, as I remember. What is this, though? Bro, I cannot wait for freaking Mecha Break, though. I think this is actually Mecha Break. Oh man, but this game does look really cool. They showed a little bit of gameplay. This game and Mecha Break, I'm really looking forward to because they look really fun. Now I'm hoping this game is high quality, you know. Look at that. Oh man. That looks so cool, man. Frick, I want to play that game. I'm hoping it's a good game. It looks so good. Look at that. Oh, I'm hoping it's a good game. I'm really hoping. This and Mecha Break, I'm really looking forward to it. This game is, I forget the name of it. It's something. You know what? We're going to see the name in a second here. I am going to skip around, though. So anyways, though, listen, man, just Astrobot. Astrobot should not have gotten Game of the Year. I'm just going to say that again. Astrobot should succeed as a game. Astrobot should get an award. One of the best platformers to come out in a long time. It's just really disappointing that our best games now, listen, man, they're above average games. And that's the simple truth. Again, Steel Hunters. I'm looking, okay, that's not a good game. That's not a good title for this game, but whatever. I'm looking forward to it. I want to play this game really bad. So I hope it comes out on Xbox. You know, at some point, I'm going to start playing PC games. I've never done that for a while. So anyway, I look forward to that game. But, you know, it's just like our games are becoming Game of the Year. It's, you know, Black Myth Wukong does not have a great story. It's a decent game. It's a really good game. It deserves awards, like the best action game of the year deserves that. It's just that we should have very different games right now for Game of the Year. You know, Red Dead Redemption 2, I already went down the list. There's a bunch of games that just outshine the gaming industry. You know, for years. These are great games. Batman Arkham Knight, terrible story. I'm just going to be honest. Well, it's not horrible, but it's not. They got rid of, I'm forgetting his name right now. Oh my gosh, I know his name. Paldini, I think is his name. They got rid of that guy. He did Arkham Asylum and City. He was a great writer. And then they got rid of him for Arkham Knight. But Arkham Knight, bro, there's so many things that's great about the game. But they should have maintained the writer. What the frick are you guys doing? That was terrible. And by the way, those guys worked on Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Again, they got rid of the freaking guy that does a great job on the past two games. And then for Arkham Knight, which you can tell, the change of the writer, it does not feel like the same Batman from Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. So anyways, just... And again, those guys, I mean, they were the woke activists infiltrating the company because they later worked on Suicide Squad. There was 3 of those writers. They worked on Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. So screw those guys. Anyways, there was a game for, this right here. This is another game. Oh, yeah. Then we got something for Borderlands. Who cares, bro? It's freaking woke, ESG dog trash. Borderlands does not have a good game loop anyways. Just a bunch of diversity squad. No one cares. No one wants this. I'm not excited. Don't care about it. It's a waste of your time, by the way. Do not play Borderlands. That's just the #1 way to waste your time and waste your life by proxy. Final Fantasy 16 sucked, had a terrible story. You know, the first 2 hours was really cool, I'm going to be honest, but they really dropped the ball after the first 2 hours of the game. The story sucks. Wait. What is Astrobot? Oh, best art direction. Black Myth Wukong was real. Yeah, I wish, by the way, Stellar Blade actually won an award because it had good things about it. The story was not so good, but the music was good in that game. So I wish it won some awards, but it did not. Veilguard, what a piece of freaking filth trash. That is the game that should have won Best Game of the Year. You want to talk about a game that deserves, this is Mecha Break right here. I love that game. It looks so cool. I hope it's good, but it looks fun. So we'll see. We'll see if it's good or not. But that's the game, though. Dragon Age the Veilguard. That should have been Game of the Year for this year. Great story. Great freaking RPG. Just overall. It should have been an upgrade from Dragon Age Inquisition. But guess what? It was woke dog crap. It was lifeless, soulless. It was not an RPG. They screwed up the freaking game. And I hate that. So, and again, this is, remember when they announced Star Wars 1913, and we were, or whatever it was called, I think it was 1818, anyway, and it was supposed to be a male bounty hunter, and it looked so cool. And by the way, just look up the freaking trailers for that game. God, man, you know, there were so many games that were going to be so good in the gaming industry, and then they scrap all this for all this ESG dog trash. Man, I'm so disappointed, man. It's just like, we had so many cool games once upon a time that were getting announced yearly. You have no clue. I used to be excited for like dozens of games, and a lot of them came out and they were disappointing, but then there was a bunch of other games, man, and they were freaking, and now this is what we get, you know? Now we just get a bunch of woke crap, bad stories. I mean, Metaphor Fantasia. I don't know what that game's about. I don't care, because games are not good anymore, and there's nothing that is alluring about that game. None of the women are hot and sexy and attractive, and you can romance them. You can't do that. What the frick? Bro, this is just freaking feminist literature. The freaking television show, the Arcane series, season 1 and 2. What a joke, man. Screw that trash. Then you have these two cringy chicks from the Last of Us television show, two lesbians. It's buffering, right? What the frick is going on? Oh, then there's this guy. No one cares. I think, yeah, no. Again, it's just melting pot ESG nonsense. Again, these two yo, bro, why don't they show me? Show me those, yeah, again, ugh. Just get out of here with this. So anyways, there's these two chicks. Wow, what the, bro, why is it, so it's desynced, I guess. It won't show me the two freaking chicks from Last of Us, the television show, I think. So anyway. So man, the Shill Awards was really disappointing. And, you know, it's just, it reveals what's happened to the gaming industry, because all we're getting now is woke boring. Everything is simply woke boring. You know, everything is filled with all this progressive nonsense, progressive politics. But the only thing that's different now is the fact that I think this is the anime game with a bunch of hot chicks in it. Hideo Kojima, he's nothing like he used to be. Back at Konami. These guys are Fantasia, right? Or Astrobot. Again, I'm happy the game did well. It's just so sad that there's just so many games that could have been better, you know? And that's just a simple truth. It's so unbelievable. Again, so whatever, bro. We're not going to be able to see a lot here. This is Turok. I've never really played the games that much. And I'm trying to brush through this, but it's not going to show us everything. Yeah, there's right here, Laura Bailey and that one dude. They're definitely banging. Just the way that they interact with each other on screen, on stage. So anyways, man, The Shill Awards was just a bunch of games that were definitely going to be the future flops of the industry. Not all of them, but a good number of them, yes. And there's some games I'm looking forward to, but it's like, man, where are we getting just good stories, good characters? I want to see more games with freaking, like, remember Max Payne? Remember the older Hitman games? Just remember what male characters used to be in these games. Ugh, just no, just stop. She looks like a Satanist, by the way. She has cross earrings, but no, I believe she's a Satanist. She looks like one to me. She definitely does witchcraft. There's no doubt in my mind. Let's keep on brushing through. Is there anything in here that we can see? That was Game of the Year, right? I don't remember. Okay, whatever. Don't care. I'm forgetting where they do the announcement for Game of the Year, because they just did so many trailers. I think even after they gave the award, as I remember. Yep, Fallout show, that won an award. If you know anything about that, that show sucked. It was an absolute travesty. This chick's alright looking, I guess, but whatever. I mean, Todd, bro, you're making trash. Starfield was trash. Your television show was trash. He also worked on the Indiana Jones game. That was trash. Why is he getting an award? Oh my gosh, bro. How many freaking franchises do you have to pillage? Golly, man. Unbelievable. Well, not pillage, but he has to drop the ball on everything. He's just not good at what he does. Oh no, he's also pillaging it because he's not the guy that is really like the visionary for Fallout and all that. There's a bunch of other dudes that were the visionaries a long time ago now, and now he's stepped in to fill their shoes, and he's not good, bro. He's not good at what he does. Anyway. We have a bunch of female-led games. I can't really show you them because I can't find them in here, but whatever, doesn't matter. A lot of them are dog trash. So, anyways, Pal World, as I was saying, that's a game that's just really not that good. It could have been better. It's really lackluster. It's a lazy game. But people's standards have dropped immensely. You understand that a lot of games today, people, even 10 years ago, but 15, 20 years ago, people used to be so critical of games. And now people just shill games left and right. It's crazy. There are games that used to be above average and people were like, oh, that's a 6 out of 10. You understand that the Tomb Raider reboot game that came out in 2013, that's a good game. Lara Croft is a good freaking character in that game. You understand though, people criticize that freaking trash from hell to back. Nowadays, bro, we get these games are such dog trash. Yeah, here we go. Another game with freaking women. Jeez Louise, it's just stop. Make it stop. But now, these games, they're just so lackluster and everyone's shilling them. It's like, seriously, what has happened? So anyways, Project Sentry is somewhere in here. So this game right here, I'm seriously looking forward to, okay, bro, it's so out of sync down here. Anyways, so let me finish my thoughts on Witcher, and it's not too much more I have to share. So this is just feminist dog trash here. A young woman is getting married off. That's the theme of this trailer. A young woman's getting married off to a man that is not of her choosing and is supposed to be super evil. Ciri later says to the village people that they're evil for it, right? They're a bunch of monsters for marrying a woman without her choosing of who the man's going to be. By the way, if you know anything about modern women, they always screw up mate selection. They always select men who are bad for them. You have no idea how many women will select for men who are criminals or who will engage in domestic violence. Women are not good at mate selection. It's a freaking joke. And we vilify a father or a brother or an uncle selecting a man from another tribe or, some other family, selecting for their daughter or whoever they're related to, selecting for her husband. No, the truth is that these guys are going to select better than the women ever will, because men do not want to select an absolute loser. Now, of course, throughout history, there's always been problems where it's like, you don't have a choice because, family relations and the economy. And it's like, we don't have that many options because there's only so many noble lines of noble blood. And that was an issue throughout time in history. But it's like, bro, no one was concerned about feminist concerns and, feminists like, oh my gosh, who do I get to select, bro? They were more concerned about, am I going to catch a disease and die? And women were not feminists back then. Big news flash, feminism was not so big back then. It's only now that women freaking clutch their pearls about who do I get to select for marriage. And by the way, again, look at modern marriage rates. Women don't select well. They divorce most men they get with, and women have these crazy expectations for the men they end up with. This is feminist propaganda that only feminists believe in. And by the way, there's a lot of men out there, both rich and poor. They all believe this feminist dog trash. Okay, by the way, I'm going to let this run as I rant, and then we're going to play the trailer a little bit. I might make a standalone video for this, by the way, but we are going to just watch through this a little bit here before we close out the video. But this right here is propaganda, and they're trying to vilify the woman getting married off. By the way, she's not that attractive, and that is intentional. They make the women look, bro, she looks so freaking average. There's a reason why they do that. Why is it that Yennefer is beautiful? Triss is beautiful. Many of the women from Witcher 3 are beautiful or just attractive, okay? You're willing to get a hard on for them. But here, Ciri is not that attractive. She was way more attractive in the previous game. She wasn't even the most attractive chick, but she was attractive. Then you've got this freaking chick, right? That's getting married off, and she's not that attractive. What the frick? Again, anyways, it's all feminism. We got to treat average or below average women as if they are above average or just really hot and sexy. No, stop. Anyways, this is all just about getting our rocks off to how evil it is that men used to marry off women. But it's like, man, stop it. Just stop it. It's not wrong and evil that a man selects for another woman who she marries off to, because they were not trying to select for the worst mate. And it's, by the way, that's not the excuse. There's no excuses here, but I'm just saying they were not trying to select for the worst of men. Women actually end up selecting for the worst of men when they have their own choice. And women turn themselves, for whatever reason, in modern day, with feminism, they turn themselves into whores. They select multiple men and multiple bad men at that. So what are we doing here with this propaganda where we act like a woman should have a freaking choice? Women are bad at decision making. We've always known this. And they're not good at selecting for themselves a man to get with. It's freaking nonsense. So we keep on trying to trash on history. We keep on trying to trash on tradition and culture. What did we used to do? What did older men of older generations, how did they conduct mate selection for women and themselves? There's nothing wrong with it. There was a reason why it was the way it was. And back then, bro, nobody had a choice of much to anything. Most people lived until they were 30, they didn't live that long. And if you were wealthier, you lived longer. Gee, I wonder why women got married off to noble men who were not of their choosing. And by the way, women, they don't really care about the men they get with. That's the other truth about it. Jeez Louise, man, it's, don't even get me, I'm not going to keep on going about this, but it's like, I could go on and on. It's just, come on. It's unbelievable how we keep on, women were happy with the men that they got with. If they got with a prince, if they got with a nobleman, they were not just, oh my gosh, Handmaid's Tale. That is propaganda. They were happy, they were fine. And they lived longer, and they had a lavished lifestyle compared to most people. Most women wanted to get married off to higher status men, and that's always the way it's been all throughout history, even today. So this is propaganda, acting like a woman getting married off, like we're seeing here, that somehow that's wrong, somehow it's evil, somehow it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. No, this is propaganda. Screw you. This is not the way it was throughout history, and there's nothing wrong with it. End of the freaking story. So, you know, and right here, you're going to see, right, for whatever reason, I guess because of witchcraft or something, this woman died, and it's Siri's going to say that they're monsters. I think I'll play the audio for you here. Let me, oh, hold up. I can't hear it because I don't, hold up. She was the chosen one or something? I don't know. Wait. I didn't hear that. I don't know why she died. I have no idea.
The chosen one. His tradition.
I don't know what the chosen one's about, but whatever. So right here, this is what she says.
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods, to go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Again, the entire point of that was so that we can really highlight the disgust that we have for tradition, for also religion, by the way, because they're also demonizing anyone believing in a god. Well, that was a pagan religion, you know, the Vikings and all that. And there's no, I don't really have any respect for paganism. So outside of that, though, but it's supposed to trash on religion. That's the only point of the trailer, that this is woke, ideological, propaganda bullcrap. They don't have to tell you in order for it to be propaganda. That is propaganda right there. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. It's freaking unacceptable. Enough with trashing on religion. Religion is what has stabilized cultures. You understand how freaking savage cultures without religion are? Religion is what has stabilized society throughout history. By the way, the first churches came from medieval Europe. Not really medieval. I mean, it was around that time. Specifically, though, the Catholic Protestant Church, both Catholic and Protestant, they were the ones that spawned the first universities. And from those churches, we spawned education, higher learning. We spawned, right, the sciences, philosophy, go down the list. We spawned higher thinking, higher learning through the church, Catholic and Protestant. That's where it came from. And that's where education, and that's where the civilization of society, of culture came from, was from the universities, from the churches. This is what we had throughout history. And now we're going to trash on it. Now we're going to act like enlightenment is to trash on religion. Enough. So anyways, that was the point of the trailer. It's not because, oh, you're pagans, right? You're Vikings and you're super barbaric. No, it's not about that. Because also, by the way, the Christians, they civilized the Vikings, which is a good thing. Love of God, you know? Colonization is a good thing. Enough of this freaking trash. Let's just be honest. The best course of history took place. The Aztecs were freaking savages. The Mayans were freaking savages. They needed to be colonized. A lot of the freaking Native Americans were savages. They needed to be colonized, and they were. Christianity is the best thing to happen on the freaking globe. Thank God for colonization. Freaking amen. We have to keep on saying that religion is bad, because we have to have a stand-in for Christianity and Catholicism is evil and it's wrong, and we have to always act like it's something that destabilizes society, or it creates a lot of barbarism somehow. No, screw you. Love of God, this freaking atheism, it's enough. So anyways, that's one of my issues with the trailer. Let's just go back. Again, I just want to show the trailer. My other issue again is we're treating Siri like she's Geralt. We're treating her like a man. She's now supposed to have a man's journey, a man's story here. And I'm going to play it a little bit now with a little bit of the audio in the background. But just so that you can hear a little bit of it as I talk through it. But again, you know, it's It is for a very intentional reason why the woman in this trailer, she's not that sexually attractive, because straight men cannot get their rocks off. Now, the only thing I am happy about this here is that it's a bunch of white people, because good, we are in an Anglo-Saxon demographic region. These people are supposed to be white. Keep them white. But again, here's the biggest issue. Whatever, screw it. We're not going to listen to it because I have to say this very specifically. This is a huge point in the books. Ciri was supposed to be a boy. Geralt and the other Witchers were expecting her to be a boy. She was supposed to be the chosen one for the end of the world, but she was supposed to be a boy. She happened to be a girl. There's an entire narrative around the first book where they are coming to grips with the fact that she is not a boy. That the trials of the grasses, 3 out of 10 boys survive it. Most young boys die becoming a Witcher, and only boys are supposed to become Witchers. They're the only ones who can take it. They are the only ones that can withstand the mutations, which are freaking horrible, right? I mean, it's torturous on their body, but it turns them into these mega warriors, right? The whole idea is that a Witcher is a man. And the whole idea, and listen, right? The books have feminism in it, whatever, but it's a very different type of feminism in the end. It's still feminism. Feminism is corrosive, but, Anders Age, he was pushing some, weird feminism nonsense with all of it, but ultimately, and he addresses this too. Ciri wishes that she could have been a boy because she felt like more of a boy, right? Because again, she was supposed to be a boy. Whatever happened, she didn't turn out like a boy. Okay. But she wanted to be a boy. She felt like a tomboy, right? And there was this whole problem for her in the first book where she didn't know how to properly flesh herself out as a woman. Yennefer and Triss had a problem with the fact that they kept on training her to be like a man because, right, end of the world, Ciri has to learn how to fight. For whatever reason, she's the chosen one. So then there's this whole narrative around Ciri, right, between the Witchers and Triss and Yennefer and other witches, where the women are trying to raise Ciri as a woman. And there's an entire point about it for the women, where it's like, okay, we're going to raise her to be like a woman. We're going to have her wear makeup, wear dresses, that whole thing. She's going to learn her femininity because we can't just raise her to be like a boy. And I think Ciri also wanted to have her freaking breasts chopped off too, which was just that whole thing. And it was Yennefer and Triss stepping in the way and being like, Geralt, stop. She has to learn to be like a woman. We can't step in the way. And also what you're doing with her, if you keep on going with the mutations, or it was some kind of tonic or whatever, that was basically going to inhibit, basically puberty blockers is what it was. I don't know if Anders Age was thinking about puberty blockers during that time, but that's basically what it was. And there was a whole point for the women. They were like, Geralt, if you get in the way of Ciri and her natural pubescent development, she is going to hate you for the fact that she has not developed into a full, proper woman. Because, right, her breasts are not going to fully develop. There's this whole thing about Ciri's development into womanhood, even though she was supposed to be a boy, and they're raising her to be the boy that they expected her to be, for the end of the world to become, whatever the chosen one's supposed to be, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole point about the fact it's a play on ideas, not so much feminism, that Ciri was not a man. Now, of course, she was supposed to be a man. Do not forget this. The series does not exist unless Ciri has Geralt. Ciri being alone in the narrative, there is no plot. Ciri does not work as a character without Geralt as the Witcher paternal figure to Ciri. It has to be very clear. Ciri was supposed to be a male character. But the only way that Anders Age was able to make it work was make it so that Geralt is the main character, Ciri is around him, and she's a huge core subject of the narrative, but Witcher, Geralt himself, is the core driver of the narrative. He is the mentor of Ciri, and anyways, and also the women around Geralt too. They're also a huge part of it. But it's everyone surrounding Ciri. Geralt himself and the people trying to help Geralt raise Ciri properly so that she becomes a proper warrior for the end of the world. That is what it's all about. And that is what now Witcher 4 is getting in the way of this. This is not what the Witcher series is about, and this is not what anyone wants. This is not what people purchase the Witcher series for. Ciri without Geralt basically kills the character, or at least cuts it in half. She is now a character that's having a man's journey, a woman having a man's journey. No one's asking for this. Nobody. And that's what I hate about this, is that again, this is supposed to be a man. This is supposed to be a man's story. The way she's getting angry at the people is, by the way, it's for dog crap reasons. It's propaganda. But outside of that, this is how a man is supposed to be having a scene. And now we're giving it to a woman. This is the problem with this. We have now flipped the gender roles. And again, the only reason that Ciri exists as a character is because of Geralt. So I have a huge problem with Witcher 4. We knew this was going to happen. I was not excited for this to happen ever since we finished Witcher 3. But now Witcher 4, it's like you need that masculine anchor of a character. We don't have Geralt. So now the story is going to suffer for it. And again, they made Ciri less attractive, so whatever. And again, this is the whole point about the books. The point of the books was never to make it so that Ciri was the main character. That was never the purpose. So they're going to screw up massively. Witcher 4 is not going to be Witcher 3, Witcher 2, or Witcher 1. It's just that simple. The games are all surrounded on Geralt. You are not going to have a franchise for the Witcher franchise if it focuses on Ciri, and that's their huge screw up right there. And again, they're just going to push feminism, and they're going to push Ciri to be a lesbian and all of this. And you know, Ciri is kind of weird because she's a tomboy in the first book, so she's kind of aloof about boys. And I don't know if Anders Age wanted her to be a lesbian. Regardless, I don't care if that's what he wanted. Because honestly, that's still propaganda. I don't like it. It's stupid. It's stupid when he does it, if he was doing it. I don't know if that's what he wanted. Honestly, I don't think that is what he wanted just by reading the books, but maybe, I don't know. Anyways, especially the first book. By the first book, I don't think he wanted Ciri to be a lesbian, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm still finishing the series, by the way. I haven't finished it. But so far, what I've read up to, she's just a tomboy that's really weird and aloof about boys and men. She doesn't know yet, but I don't think he wants her to be a freaking lesbian, but I know that these people want they want her to be a lesbian. So we'll see about that. I'm not excited for Witcher 4. I mean, again, if we had freaking Geralt, I would be excited, but we know that we can't have Geralt, so it sucks, but, you know, I love Geralt. He's an amazing character, but now we don't have him, so that blows absolute Donkey Kong. And by the way, I think in the Elden Ring DLC, they're literally branching together Dark Souls and Elden Ring, which, I mean, yeah, that's what Elden Ring is. Elden Ring is basically Dark Souls 4. Let's just face it. So, anyway, those are my thoughts about the Shill Awards 2024, as they call it, the Game Awards. I was not too happy with it. Again, it's a bunch of people. It's a bunch of industry hacks, everyone acting like they're friends, everyone shaking hands, smiling. Meanwhile, everyone trashes them on social media because they largely deserve it for the most part. These are activists, and these people, they're having a constant war zone on freaking Twitter with a whole bunch of people. And then they're smiling and they're laughing on stage, acting like everyone loves each other and that they don't hate the audience. No, they do hate the audience. These are woke activists, and they're acting like everyone's happy and everyone loves each other and everyone's just giddy and no, there is no amicability between the people on stage, these people here. Jeff Keighley, you know, he's a freaking woke activist. The people that he works with are woke activists. These people do not love gamers. They are the people who invaded the industry, and then they feel sorry for when these people lose their jobs. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so bad that there's so many layoffs and blah, blah, blah. You guys voted Democrat, which, by the way, hurt the economy. No wonder there's layoffs just because of that. But then on top of that, you're pushing propaganda. Of course, your studios are going to fail. And you hijacked a bunch of franchises. Uncharted, Last of Us, we can go down a huge list. Wolfenstein, whole list. You infiltrated the gaming industry. Of course you lost your jobs. Of course no one's buying these games. You deserve what happened. And now you want everyone to feel sorry for you? And you keep on pushing feminist propaganda. We used to have majority male protagonists in our stories, and now we have majority female protagonists. This is ridiculous. The gaming industry is dead. Gaming is dead. This is why I made the video where I said I quit gaming because most games suck now. Now, I still love games. I still love the games that are good, but they're in the minority now. There's a bunch of games that are not good anymore. There's a bunch of game stories that are not good anymore. I miss when stories were good. I miss when women were hot and sexy in gaming, which used to be pretty much every game that was out there. And now we don't have that. And now I'm so freaking disappointed in what the gaming industry has become. It's something I don't want to engage with anymore. By the way, the video is not out, me saying that I quit gaming, but it's a whole point I make in that video, which will be coming out, because I do quit gaming because of the simple fact that gaming is no longer gaming. And it's only the games that still today remain to be games that I play. And there's not many of them, bro. Bro, I've been playing Age of Wonders 4 for the last year, because there's not many games that come out that are actually good. Games I actually enjoy. They're in the minority now. Most games I pick up and I stop playing. When I picked up Stalker 2, I quit the game an hour in. When I picked up, what was the other games? Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, I quit that game an hour in. I had to force myself to play that game. When I picked up, there's so many games, bro. There's some games I watch and I'm just like, I don't care. But I mean, there's Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. I forced myself to finish that game for the review because they killed Batman in it. What the frick? That was freaking horrible. And that was the last time I finished a woke game. But there's so many games, I just quit the game because it's like, games are not good. They suck. And I forced myself to finish the first Descendant because it had hot women in it. But that game sucked. Just the game design, and the story was non-existent, but you know, outside of that, you know, the women were hot. It wasn't woke, really. Overwhelmingly, it wasn't woke. It didn't have a good game loop, and that's the only thing about it. So anyways, man, it's just a lot of games are not good. And games are not being made by men who want to make the most captivating story plus game imaginable, like we used to get. For instance, we used to get games like Tomb Raider 2013. That was a good game and story. Lara's character was good in that game. I like her character. I like the writing of the characters in the game. And I like the gameplay. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. I enjoy the stories. I love 3 and that story. And I love the gameplay. I played that game so much you have no idea. Back a while ago now. But there's so many games I used to love. I loved Last of Us, the first game. I loved the multiplayer for that game. There's so many games I used to love. And now we have so many games that come out, and they're just dog trash. And by the way, I used to be addicted to the Uncharted 3 multiplayer. The Uncharted 4 seemed good, but I don't have a PlayStation anymore, so, you know, that's how it goes. But gaming is not what it used to be. And it's just that simple. So now we have these game awards where these activists are trying to pat themselves on the back. They're like, oh, you know, we're pandering to blacks and minorities. Big deal. Oh my gosh. But for some reason, we're not going to invade Chinese, Korean, or Japanese games. Now they're trying to, but for some reason, they don't care to invade Asian people games. It's only when a game is made for white people, they care to invade it. That's interesting. They can't just go ahead, like, bro, no one's stopping you. Go make a game for Ethiopian people. Maybe no one will buy it. I don't know. I have no idea. But stop it. Make a game for white people. Make a game for white people and nothing more. Just have white people again in a product, in a game. Now, right now, the first Descendant is starting to throw in black characters more and more. That's not what anyone's asking for. Make that game remain a white/Asian person game. You can go ahead and make a freaking Ethiopian game if you want. You know, it's like, again, this freaking pandering and also this melting pot crap, It's enough, man. It's one of the reasons why I'm so fed up with most games that come out. And outside of that, a lot of games that come out nowadays, they're just not that good and they're just not that fun. Anyways, man, that's enough from me. The Shill Awards 2024, it just wasn't that great in the end.